meeting number 1466 to order. It is 7:32, and I'd like to welcome our online viewers and let public know that our gallery is always open during public meetings. Agenda meeting number 1466 in front of you. Are there any additions to the agenda?
No additions, but on the Public Works meeting, before I guess it goes up on the website, I know that we had made a change to number 2 for just the RFP change to an RFQ piece. So I was just thinking that could be a little confusing if it goes up like that.
Okay, noted. Thank you. All right. Any other comments or additions to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on. The minutes for meeting number 1464 are presented. Are there any errors or omissions?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I just want to comment. I know it's noted that I was late there for the meeting. I was here, Chris, I don't know, just want to make a note there for the Department of Arts and Rec. I was here for that one. It just says for the voting there, and not listed. So.
All right, thank you.
Just for clarity, thank you.
All right, can I get a mover to accept the minutes? All right, moved by Councillor Langdon, seconded by?
So moved.
Councillor Hancock. Call for question. Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried, thank you. All right, we'll move on to business arising from the minutes. Is there any business arising from the minutes?
I just had one question, really, I guess, wondering if it arose. On the finance agenda, number 10, waste management meeting January 24th. Did that go ahead, Jason? Or is that something that was going to be rescheduled? It talks about town manager had a meeting scheduled with waste management for January 24th to review the spring cleanup. Just wondering.
That meeting did take
Oh,
place.
okay.
So it was solely focused myself and the director of public works attended it with, I guess I'll call him the CEO of Western Waste Management, Mr. King.
Okay.
So we just discussed spring cleanup.
Gotcha.
And we actually got some numbers from them over the whole bulk
Perfect.
waste going from Deer Lake to Hampton back to Wall Cove. So we've actually got some numbers from them now, and they've actually reached out this morning. They want to have a follow-up meeting now.
Okay.
We both have some numbers to share, so that's something that we'll probably bring some more councillors in on for our next meeting.
Sure. Okay. That's it for me.
All right, any other questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried, thank you. Moving on to new business. Is there any new business tonight? All right, hearing none, we shall move on to correspondence. Item number 1, National Heritage Day Proclamation. We'll be signing off on a proclamation. Wayne Fowler, promote the drum circle. That's for your information. Kindness Week, Elwood Elementary, February 26th, March 1st, to let office staff know who from council can attend, please. Royal Canadian Legion, a Lettertown respondent. We'll be meeting tomorrow, Jason, on that. Item number 5, Deer Lake Airport, WestJet is returning. That's great news. I'm seeing lots of uptake and like of that return of that corporation to the Deer Lake Airport, and well done to the Deer Lake Airport for getting them back. M&L Health, Thursday, February 22nd at 12. Can anyone attend? Please let office staff know. SAM meetings, April 19th to 20th. Is there anyone that would like to attend? Okay, at this time, if there's nobody, if things change for someone you want to let staff know, it would be greatly appreciated. Canadian Women's Heart Health Centre, February 13th to 24. Wear Red Canada to raise awareness about heart and vascular health. It's a proclamation. With that said, we shall move on. We're going to do 2 separate, I guess, motions after the fact for the proclamations. Okay. I will move those to the mayor's report, just so I don't forget. I'll write it down. All right, thank you, and that concludes correspondence. We'll move on to reports. Councillor Freak, Finance, please.
Got a long one. Myself, Town Manager, Councillor Kerry Jones, and Town Clerk Lori Humphreys met on Tuesday, February the 6th. Item number 1, the water filter replacement status report number 7, claim for 107,706 75 cents, and CBCL claim for 5264.13. Status report number 8. How do you say that company's name? Cahill? Cahill?
I don't know.
Cahill? Yep. Their claim was for 172,573.75. Recommended approval for those water filters. Item number 2 is the Junction Trailblazers. We've got our platinum sponsorship for $1,000. We recommend approval. Item number 3, CBCL invoice 0491965 Lagoon Study for $6,500. 6563.95 recommended approval. Item number 4, Forge Menchington invoice brought forward from the last meeting for $5,811.17. Recommended approval. Item number 5, the annex change order number 29, elevator lift beam for $6,028.64. Recommended approval. Item number 6, annex change order number 31 for the audio system, $858.44. Recommended approval. Item number 7 is the annex change order number 30, blinds for the gymnasium for $6,023.15. This is for council discussion. Item number 8, fleet truck quotes. We recommend seeking quotes for multiple trucks. That's been brought to our attention by the town mechanic. Item number 9, the GIC rates that we went out on, we recommend BMO with a 2-year rate at 5%. And I make a motion to pass the finance report.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Jones. Call for question.
Yeah, a couple of questions, I guess. Number 5 for the change order for the elevator lift beam. Because obviously I don't want to turn this stuff down so we can keep the project moving. So with our change order, we still can go back and review these and have discussions with our contractors.
Absolutely.
Am I right or wrong with that?
Yeah, so we've got a running tally too that, I think I shared with council last week over the total number of change orders we've had to date. And that was pulled from our consultant, right from Procore. So it is something, Councillor Jones, that we will continue to monitor as we are right now at change order 31, that we do anticipate others will come along. I will speak to this one, is that this was, I guess, something that was probably overlooked in the design. And it is a safety feature that's required for the elevator, so it was something that we didn't want to slow the project down on. But certainly with any of these, that there will be a thorough review of things, I guess, that were overlooked in the original design and set of drawings that were presented for this building, and what the final result will look like when it's completed.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other questions?
And then Jason, we had item number 7 that we can leave that for afterwards so we can deliver all the information for the discussion, the blinds, the gymnasium.
Yeah, so for the other 2 change orders, I'll just speak to number 6. That was something that was town directed. That was something that both myself and the recreation director looked at. That we had some aging, I'll call it, equipment that was in the original spec, and we decided to swap that out. We wanted to go to more of a Bluetooth, iPhone technology. So we did swap out stuff. So there was some small costings there, but we felt for the overall benefit of the building that we modernize things as much as possible. And again, with number 7, that was something that was overlooked. We're going to have windows in the gymnasium section that, even though they will, I believe, Glenn, have a tint to them, it's just the blinds, to have major sporting events such as basketball. I know we've had professionals that have brought to our attention that a natural light entering the building at that kind of angle can be an impedance.
Could be glare or whatever.
Yeah, so it was something that was overlooked that, again, as Councillor Jones has brought up, we're going to have to look at all of this when the building is finalized to see, things that.
Because those things were discussed in our
Yes.
specs.
Yeah.
So now that it wasn't found in any of the orders, we needed it. We knew up front we needed it.
I guess for that one, like it would have to be able to withstand impact, not get destroyed quite easily. Maybe something goes up and down. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm just saying that something to consider that's going to be getting hit. And
Yeah, and it is something they factored in because even we've looked at even the soundproofing panels. I mean, we've had quite a lengthy discussion. Anything in the gymnasium section has to withstand a blow from any sporting equipment that could be used, and that might be even sports we're not thinking of right now that could become used in the gymnasium. So I mean, anything that's put in there, if it's window, fixtures or anything on the wall, it does have to withstand a basketball, a volleyball, things of that nature.
like I don't know if we're going to be allowed to let Josh Young in with a soccer ball. I mean, that guy can hit, but
Maybe not. We might have to get a list of people in certain sports.
I'm only joking, but let me tell you, but that hits with some pretty hard.
Item number 9, Krista, can you make note that that is the severance funding that we would recommend to go in there? It has to be highlighted for what it's for.
And Chair, just I guess for clarity on number 8, we did go out for quotes for one truck, but it became, once we spoke to our mechanic, that we have multiple vehicles that probably we should look at upgrading. So that's why we want to have the council, staff will have something ready probably this week to show the council what we want to do and we'll look for multiple trucks.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah, I just had just a question about number 2. More curious than anything. I noticed in the platinum sponsorship that they give a trail pass. Like, is that something that gets I don't know? Do you just pick from a hat from staff or something?
Actually, we
Yes.
didn't mention that there, and a couple
Yeah.
that we do get on, we're just gonna put them in and have a drive. from
Yeah,
the
that's what I would do.
staff.
Like, not for us, but I mean for staff or something or whatever. Okay, I was just curious how that works. Okay.
All right, any further questions or comments?
And then I feel like if Lori was here, she'd be saying number 9 needs separate motion. Is that possible, or am I crazy? Like, the GIC, locking in for 2 years.
We can make a separate one. I don't think we
I could be
would,
wrong. I
but
just
no, we can.
picture.
So I'll make a motion to accept the finance report 1 through 8.
And I'll second that.
Hold on a second. So we're going to remove item number 9,
Nine,
amend.
do separate.
Yeah, we'll make a separate motion for it.
All right, just for the record, this is a vote from 1 to 8. Questions, comments, concerns are discussed. Hearing any further? Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Councillor Freak, item number 9, please.
Item number 9, I make a motion to move the severance savings into a BMO 2-year at a rate of 5%.
All right, moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by
And I'll second.
Councillor Jones. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. All right, we'll move on to accounts payable. Councillor Freak, please.
So we're going to go through items number 1 through 55, excluding 8 and 5, for the amount of... Sorry.
You say 8 and 5?
8, number 5.
8 and 51. Sorry, 8 and 51.
51.
My bad.
All right, just for the record, it's 8 and 51. We've got a motion, we've got a mover. Let's call for seconder. Councillor Jones, call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll
On
do
December
item
number.
number 8. Yep. Item number 8 for B&S Trucking for $3,289 for the dumpster rentals. I make a motion to pay the invoice.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by
I'll second that also.
Councillor Jones. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, item 51.
I'll step in.
Make a motion to pay the invoice for $255.55 to Western Steelworks.
All right, moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you.
And, Mr. Mayor, just to note, the total for accounts payable was $67,904.60.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to Public Works, please.
This is the Public Works report for February 9th, 2024. In attendance was Town Manager Jason Young, Director of Public Works David Thomas, and Public Works Superintendent Scott Elms, and myself. I called in early before this, as per number 8 of the finance report with the light truck RFQ. This RFQ has been canceled based on, as it was for a single truck, and now we're going to go to more. Number 2, the water conference in Ghana. This is offered by Department of Environment, I do believe, and we will be sending one of our water operators and our Public Works Superintendent to the conference. Or I recommend, sorry. Number 3, our equipment standing offer. Our request for the offer have been received by 3 bidders. We're moving through each of the bids right now, and we're going to see who's the lowest before we make the offer, or award the offer to the successful proponent. Item number 4, the RFQ for the wheeled excavator. We have received 4 quotes. We are now comparing the specifications of each, and we'll purchase this vehicle through Canoe. Recommend purchasing through Canoe once we do this comparison. And number 5, just for the public, and I just want to thank our Public Works crew once again, as they were pretty busy last weekend. Yeah, they repaired a significant water line repair with power outages and lift station blockages. It was something else for our crew to handle. So when there's a perfect storm, there's a perfect storm.
Yeah.
And I'd like to congratulate Dave and your crew for the work that you've done. So with that, I'd like to make a recommendation to accept the Public Works meeting of February 9th.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Fitzgerald, seconded by Councillor Langdon. Call for question.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, just, I guess not a question, more of a comment there, but yeah, reiterate what Darren said. Great job by the Public Works team. I know it was a difficult week, and I think they're dealing with another water line last night there as well. But I did hear from some residents as well. There was concerns over the boil order that we had and the contact that we're making. So I'd like to look into some new options of how we can make direct point of contact with residents in the community. I know through my job, I see other communities, some do it through a phone system, and it can specifically target different areas of the community. So I'd like to look into that and present some options to council so we can, better directly target those who might not see it on Facebook or the digital ad and stuff, to ensure that everybody's kept up, not just for water line repairs, but for any, emergency systems or whatever, or really for any update in the community. So I'll present council with some of that in the future.
Great points, and that's why I'd like to encourage, and I think we got to do, I think actually I mentioned it in the last council meeting, is doing an in-house for the app, because anybody that is registered or owns a cell phone does get notification. And again, hats off to the crew, but hats off to management, because they've also fielded hundreds of calls that day, and by sending it a notification on the app, I did hear that other residents that normally wouldn't have had notice because they don't have Facebook were notified. So again, the more we can improve our communication, the better. So I really appreciate the comments. And
Great point, Mayor. The app is a great resource and whatnot, and I encourage anybody to download that and get connected. And we have an email list as well, but I think most of it was seen to be coming from those who are not real well connected, whether it be seniors or whatnot. So I think, like you said, I think the more communication, the better. So.
Yeah.
No, most definitely. And I'm one of the least tech savvy probably sitting around this table, but when I seen the little red alert came up, I was aware of it. So I want to say thanks again. Any further questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. All those in favor of the Public Works report? Motion carried. Alrighty, moving on to Environment and Housing. Councillor Jones, please.
Okay, the first report there is from December the 6th. That's, I guess, the last meeting. We never had the proper recommendations marked in, so we just left it off. So we'll go through this one there first, just to ratify them. It was out on December the 6th, 2023. Number 1, 2, just general repairs, the permit was issued. Number 3, for extensions, for an enclosure, the permit was issued. Accessory buildings, for a shed, the permit was issued. A land development for Q&H excavating, 100 loads, permit been issued. And on the businesses, 46 Murdoch Drive for Airbnb, recommend approval. And obviously all of these recommend approval once Service Now approves them also. Number 7 for 38 Whites Road, Airbnb. And number 8, 64 George Aaron Drive, Air Salon. Number 9, 74 Whites Road, Airbnb. Number 10, 100 Nicholsville Road for Airbnb. Number 11, 179 Nicholsville Road, Airbnb. And number 12 for After Hook on 37 Old Band Bay Road for a fish market, we recommend approval. And number 13 under other was for a Crown Land application up in the Umber Canal area in Horseshoe Pond. Seek permission to build a cabin. Their existing cabins are down, so we recommend approval for this one also. So I move that we accept the environmental minutes for Tuesday, December the 6th, 23.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Hancock. Call for question.
Yeah, just one question there, Mr. Mayor. For the report there, I know we label it, maybe this is just nitpicking as well, but we label Airbnb. Is that, I guess when people apply, they call it Airbnbs, but is that any nightly rental or just on that platform? Or
Nightly rental.
Right, and the reason I ask that, because I know with the provincial regulation stuff, there's specific ones geared towards Airbnb and VRBO, which have their own regulations, and then nightly rentals. So anything labeled Airbnb is just nightly rentals, so they can do whatever they want for a nightly rental?
I already
Right.
brought this to the chair's attention that Airbnb is truly a brand name, let's call it.
Right,
And
yeah.
some of these nightly rentals may not be on Airbnb. So
Right.
they should be labeled in our report properly as short-term rentals. So short-term then could be VRBOs, they advertise them privately, they go on Airbnb, like whatever they're going to be. If they're short-term rentals should be the proper
Right,
terminology.
yeah, and I just know from like our standpoint as well, Airbnb, you know, we can find some comfort in knowing that they have some regulation in place as well, right? Whether it be Airbnb or VRBO, but if they're just doing nightly rentals, there's no kind of accountability outside of us. Right, that makes sense?
Yeah.
You know,
A lot of
the app
these
has account-
applications came in Airbnb, and that's why it was
Right,
marked.
right, yeah, no, and I
But
think
we
it's
will
been
change
standard
it.
practice for as long as I've been here anyway, but, yeah, like
We-
the
we will
shed,
change it.
like
It's
the
just
shed
the
and garage
application
issue we
say-
had, eh, Karen?
Yeah,
Councillor
we-
Jones, yeah.
And I know that, and you, like, I guess the world travel like yourself, they've been moving around.
Yes,
They've
yeah,
seen a
well-
few things, right?
Well, mine's labeled hostel, I can't afford Airbnb, so.
But the applications, if you look at the applications that are all attached, they self-identify as.
Yeah, I know, and that's very common. I didn't know if we were actually, maybe it was, and I would say 90% of these people are on Airbnb anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
But it was brought to our attention, and we are going forward, just to
Right,
make
right.
sure when you do apply in the right heading. Thanks for your comment.
Thanks, no,
The
thanks.
other one that I told you, that they don't have to go on Airbnb. Oh my God.
Just Airbnb,
So it-
VRBO,
They, yeah,
and something, there's another one too.
because we were like, why would you call it this? Like, it's not. So it's just Airbnb is the brand on the platform
That's
that you're
like-
renting it.
Yeah, it's like really good branding, like Kleenex. Everyone knows what that is, but it's
Right.
a brand name. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, no one's drinking Big 8 Cola and calling it big.
But yeah, no, I did chat,
Yeah.
Councilor.
Yeah, we did have a chat on it.
People use it, synonymously. You know?
All right, all great discussion, great comments, concerns. Any further? Hearing none. We have a mover and a seconder. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Councillor Jones?
Okay, the other one was held on February the 8th, Thursday, 2024. A few items on there. Number 1 for general repairs, 3 Edward Street, converting an attached garage to a secondary suite. Recommended permit is issued. Number 2, under new dwelling, M&M Equipment, Nicholsville Road, for 5-unit building. They're requesting to rezone this area to fit the proper application. And number 3, for businesses, Ash Convenience Store, 25 North Main Street for convenience store, approving pending service NL. Number 4, Body Beach Efficiency Unit, 88 Nicholsville Road, Airbnb. We approved the pending service from NL Tourist Culture Industry and Innovation. And number 5, for Citrus Sweet, 168 Nicholsville Road, is a mobile seasonal business selling lemonade. Recommend applicant apply for a temporary vendor permit seeking, they must seek the property's owner permission if they want to, I guess, exist on anybody's land or sell on anybody's land. And number 6, just for information, from the government of Newfoundland, a secondary basement suite incentive program is from the government of Newfoundland. So I move that we accept the environment news minutes for Thursday, February the 8th.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Any questions, comments, concerns?
I'm just wondering about number 1 here, general repairs. Convert attached garage to a secondary suite. Secondary suite, is that like a rental unit?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, like a granny flat.
Okay. Guess I was just wondering what it was. It's fine.
All right, thank you. Any further questions, comments?
Just, bump back to the last Environment and Housing Committee minutes. So was that our new dwelling total for the year? 17 new housing dwellings and 8 commercial?
2023.
That's Error permit.
That should be the updated final one
Yeah.
for the year?
It was only the one permit issued.
Yeah,
For the
actually,
sheriff's
the updates are done when I guess, all requests, we don't do it then, once their permit is on file and approved, then we update it, so we will update start going forward.
Right, gotcha, yeah, but for Tuesday, December, that should have been updated for 2023?
Yes.
That's perfect. Excellent.
All right, any other questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, we have a mover and a seconder. Call for question. Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. All right, moving on to Arts, Rec, and Culture, please. Councillor
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Department of Arts, Recreation and Culture met on February 7, 2024. In attendance was Councillor Hancock, myself, Councillor Langdon, Director of Recreation Community Services, Glenn Wiseman, and the Town Manager, Jason Young. Just before we start, I'd like to remove item number 5, just it's a duplication with item number 4. That's all. Item number 1 is, all of these are for council information. Item number 1, Gazebo. The Recreation Department, in conjunction with the Isle of View Foundation, is looking into the construction of a new gazebo located on the north end of the existing unpaved section of the beach parking lot, so near the main area, Joe Butt's Lookout there. The Isle of View Foundation has received funding through, it's a COA, right, Jason? Through a COA, so we're looking to work with them to construct this nice project for the town. Item number 2 is the outdoor arena on Bow Waters Field. The recreation employees have been working diligently to prepare the outdoor rink and the powerhouse. Cooler temps did continue. I think we had a couple of good days of it. I know it's been warm the last 2 days, so it's definitely struggling now, but hopefully we can get some colder weather back and get out skating in time for Winterfest again. Item number 3, lights on the Hummer River Walking Trail. The town's electrician has begun installing the lights along the 430 loop in the walking trail. That was on February 8th. I believe that's completed now, right, Jason?
No, I was speaking to the electrician, sorry, Jason, but I was speaking to the electrician today. So he's got pulled away to work on the arena. Last week was something else. This week, tomorrow is possibly something. But he's focused, and he said his promise is to ensure council, and that's why I called today, is that it will be done for Winterfest.
Oh, excellent. Okay, that's going to be exciting when it's completed. So hopefully in the next week or so. So that's an exciting project. Item number 4 is the Winterfest schedule. The Tim Hortons Winterfest schedule has been finalized and is shared among our Facebook platforms and on the Deer Lake rec page. And all residents as well on our email list, as we spoke about earlier, has received one. And we I certainly encourage residents to get out and get engaged in many of these great events, and I thank the committee for their continued hard work on the Winterfest. It's looking to be another great year of lineups. And I'd like to congratulate Gracie Gymnastics. Many of their athletes competed in a competition in St. John's last weekend, and as well as Deer Lake Minor Hockey Association. There have been lots of medals going around, which is great to see for our association. And the Deer Lake Red Wings have finished their season in first place this year, and will be starting the playoffs this coming Friday and Saturday against the Stephenville Lightning. So we hope to see people out and getting engaged again. And figure skating, I wish all those athletes good luck as they compete this weekend in St. John's. Clarenville, sorry, my apologies. I make a motion to accept these minutes.
All right. Thank you.
Oh,
Great
sorry.
boys.
Yes, sorry. We did have some
Xavier.
basketball teams doing well. Sorry, pardon my ignorance on basketball. But yes, we had some good basketball teams compete. Like Xavier competed in the tournament here and did well, and Elwood was competing in Central, right?
St. John's.
St. John's. Sorry, St. John's in the last weekend. So great job to all of them, and any other athletes that I miss. Great job, and keep up all the good work. Thanks, guys.
There you go.
All right, we have a,
Oh, sorry, and actually we had a dart tournament here. They all did. They did. Seriously, we did. So I thank everyone for coming up for those. And yeah, it was during. So they had a dart tournament. Congratulations to the winners of that as well. I and everyone else, but thanks.
right,
Should get them to write you, like if they want, like we can recognize them, but just so we don't like get their directors.
Yeah, great point. And if anyone wants to be recognized, we try to do our best. I try to share as many as I can, but our rec team will be happy to post. And we like to highlight many of these athletes, not just athletes, any achievements in the community. We're very proud of our community and what they accomplish. So anyway, I make a motion to accept these minutes.
great points. Moved by Councillor Langman, seconded by Councillor Hancock. Call for question.
One question, the lights for the walking trail, how far are we going up with them?
430 meters, so it'll be the loop when you come back out the extension side where you see where they access for their equipment to go in on the right side.
Cool.
Any
For now.
In case you want to go for a walk one night.
Yeah.
Just the
In
beginning.
case you want to check it out there, Councillor.
Yeah.
So your heart can go put it together, it's just the beginning.
Actually, and thanks to the Health and Wellness Committee too for spearheading that project. So,
All right, all great stuff. So we have a mover. Call for a seconder.
Hancock.
Moved by Councillor Hancock, or seconded by Councillor Hancock. Sorry, any further questions, comments, or concerns? I'm just going to note one after that discussion, and this is a part of arts, rec, and culture. So it's hard to capture every single thing, and again, it's good because it shows that our community's busy, and it's nice to hear from residents saying, I heard this weekend actually that this council's doing a great job, so hats off to everyone, and we shall keep moving forward. We won't get it perfect, but we'll try our best. All right, any other further comments?
Everybody's in favor.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Thank you.
All right.
All right, all those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you, Krista, for filling in to keep me on my taps, because I almost went off there for a second. Krista, what committee are we going to now? No jokes. On to Health and Wellness. Deputy Mayor Young, please.
Health and Wellness met January 30th, 2024, in attendance myself, Councillor Hancock, and Town Clerk Lori Humphrey. So items 1 through...
Sorry, I wasn't at that one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a friendly fix there. Can we remove Gordon's name? So item 1, Bridge the Gap. So this was a year-long funding initiative that we received last year, and it goes till March. So we're kind of dwindling into our last 2 big events. So one is a day ice fishing. So that's, I believe that one's coming up. Is that near Winterfest? Yeah, so we're doing a session on ice fishing and ending with a wellness day for seniors. Item number 2 is our snowshoe library. So again, this is something that we started late fall last year, but looking at just kind of getting this all finished and initiated. So completing the purchasing of the remaining snowshoes and to establish a lending library as we move forward for the rest of the winter. Item 3, we do have some new practitioners in town at the new Deer Lake White Bay Family Care team. So we are looking at establishing some welcome bags for the new practitioners that are there. Item 4, Random Act of Kindness Day is February 17th. Last year we did up little gift bags, kind of just randomly dropped them around the community, and it went over really well. So we were hoping to do that again this year. And number 5, Wellness Day at Xavier. Again, we participated in this last year. We had a smoothie station set up where the kids picked their own frozen vegetables and made kind of healthy smoothie options. And we are looking at, we've been asked and have agreed to do that again this year. So I make a motion that we accept the minutes of Health and Wellness, January 30th, 2024.
All right, thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Young, seconded by. I was like, oh, hands go. Councillor Freak, call for question.
Yeah, the only comment I'll make is at this rate, you might want to get a boat for your ice fishing too.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I hear ya. Winter's fleeting.
Rough times.
All right. Any further questions, comments, concerns for the Health and Wellness Report? Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Before we move on to Mayor's report, there's a fire rescue, and I know Councillor Langdon really has enjoyed his tenure as the liaison, so I'm going to call upon him to read it out for us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So on February 7th, myself, Mayor Guzny, Councillor Freak, and Councillor Jones attended the annual election of officers meeting. The positions up for nomination this year were Chief on a 2-year term, Deputy Chief on a 1-year term, and 3 captains and 3 lieutenants, both on a 2-year term. The reason for the Deputy Chief only on a 1-year term is because at the time Stephen Rousel had vacated that position to become interim chief, and he did get elected as chief. So the 2024 fire officials are as to follow: Fire Chief Stephen Rousel, Deputy Chief Jason Rousel, Captain Michael Bigford, Captain Floyd James, Captain Earl Tansley, and the Lieutenants Brady Schroeder, Dean Langdon, and Perry King. So I thank each and one of them for putting their names forward to become leaders within this this department. And you know, as we have in the past, I think we can continue to proudly support this group and what they do. And if anybody's interested in joining the fire department, they're always looking to recruit new members, so I encourage you guys to get out. And I do believe this, they had asked, and I think we can, I think this is going to be a quarterly report as well from Deer Lake Fire Rescue, so I look forward to keeping residents updated on the happenings. So do I have this a motion that we had to accept? Yeah, sorry, I make a motion to accept those as followed, the fire officials for 2024.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Langdon, seconded by Councillor Freak. Call for question, comments.
Just to echo your points, the boys is a great effort shown by all these people. It was really good to see our retired chief back as captain. It was really fun to see new people in the kitchen. We had firefighter Cake, who made some delicious lasagna for his fellow firefighters, and his spouse came in and done all new headshots and photography for them. So making big waves again in the fire department. Great crowd to be involved in. For anybody wanting to join, it's a Wednesday night training session. You know, giving back to your community is great. But a big thing that they would like to mention to the community is placing a number on your house. You know, it makes all the difference for them to get there, to have a number on your house. So we would encourage everybody right now. We still have numbers here at the town of Deer Lake. If you would like to come in to pick up numbers to put on your house. But it's soon going to be, I would suggest, maybe even a bylaw of some sorts that the 911 system would want to see something of the sorts for all emergency measures to get to your home, to have a number on your house. So I'd encourage you to take part in numbering your home.
Absolutely, and I think you nailed it when you said it will become, you know, you don't sit around this table looking to govern, to make rules, but those ones are very imperative because it could mean 20 seconds and that could mean life. So great comment.
I think we might have it in place, it's just we haven't really been heavily enforcing, but I would say that we're at least going to have to look at potentially knocking doors again and saying, hey, it's too important, right? Like, sometimes you gotta help save those that are unwilling to move fast enough really to do it for themselves a little bit.
And unfortunately, sometimes it's a cardiac or whichever, and there's no one to run out into the street to say, hey, this is where we live. So it's not one we want to look back on and enforce after the fact. So, all right, thank you. Crystal, line me up again. We have a mover, seconder.
Yep.
Call for question. All those in favor? Thanks so much. Motion carried. All right, before we adjourn, I'm going to put in the mayor's report, so if there is anything else that anyone's forgotten, then good point, Council Freak. I had boys Xavier basketball because there's so many things going on in the town.
We did miss the proclamations. So
Yeah, that's
you
my
wanna go back
mayor's
to them?
report.
Okay,
I
perfect.
just moved them, so thank you. Listen, I'm here to be put on the spot.
Organized than we thought.
I'm the chair. Council actually runs the council. If people had to actually look at the structure of the legislation. So, mayor's report. I do have. There was a post locally, and the importance of water and potable drinking water is one thing. I guess I spoke heavily on in my very, very first election in Labrador City, some 13, 14 years ago. There was a post that generated quite some attention. It had, at one point, over 2,000 views. I received quite a few phone calls on it and messages. And I just want to let people know that the town has reached out, that we are following all standards, and it does sit currently with Port Ashuwa. Council is in contact, and public health is aware and on top of it. So when they get further information or direction for us, we will follow that through water resources with the province, just to alleviate any concerns or something people might think we missed. And again, that is your basic, most important service to all residents is clean drinking potable water. The outdoor rink was a great call by the rec director on Saturday. I know we're kind of bouncing around for weather, but I just want to say hats off, because I did get to see after work, there was quite a bit of uptake, and as much as we're trying to compete with Mother Nature for all things outdoors, it was nice to walk down that evening and hear lots of chuckles and see some future, I'll say some pro hockey players, because I'm almost embarrassed to go on the rink myself at this age, but maybe I'm going to try it. There's a request. I guess I'm going to put out a request to council if anyone's free Friday. I have a date set up. I call it a date with the seniors from the residents. We're going bowling at the Hodder. So by all means, if anybody would like to come down to, what's that, 2 o'clock? So we're going to do that. I'm going to see if we might. I think the uptake is so well that I don't even know if their courier service can take it. So I don't know if this is competitive bowling or what it is, but we're going to have some fun, or we're going to try to. So all are welcome. The other one, back to the note with the, and I don't know, Councillor Freak, Councillor Langdon, if there's some way, because you folks are the liaisons as well, and Jones, you've worked there. I don't know if there's ever been a time in this province when you've had a brother as the chief, deputy fire chief, and as current longest sitting member as a father. I don't know if that's something we could look to find or to note to MNL, to somebody, but it's that's the first I've ever heard of it.
Our retired fire chief called it
Mhm. There you go.
But it is, I mean, the arousal commitment to that fire department is unbelievable.
Mhm.
Like, and not only just the 3 boys, but what their families have done to support the fireettes, you know, their husbands, the whole thing, like, they deserve some, the arousal family deserves some recognition.
Yeah, and just getting to stand around and talk with their father. I mean, he goes back to stories that are just like, you know, and they don't miss a beat. They're just dedicated. Questions? I'm gonna go round table. Anybody concerns, comments? Gordon, or sorry, Councillor Hancock.
You won't.
Sure.
Oh, I wanted to get home early.
You guys.
I'll apologize to staff.
9 o'clock, or he opened it up. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously, I just wanted to mention that I think all of us are aware Robert Major is out receiving some treatment in St. John's. They did a fundraising event in Pasadena that I attended, and it was a great turnout, great night in terms of a fundraising effort. But I just wanted, I guess, to mention that we're all thinking about him. They left Sunday, him and his spouse. They're going for about 7 weeks. But I think the edge was taken off a little bit down in Pasadena. I think that really helped, and I know they sent out a very positive message on Facebook. They're very grateful. But I guess I just wanted to let them know we're thinking about him.
Great.
I don't know if it's right place or right time, but it was brought to my attention about access in some way, shape, or form to the cemeteries.
Definitely.
So I agree with it, and I would love people to know that, you know, we're certainly, it's a discussion that we're all willing to have around the table, but it's a committee, it's funded, they have workers and those sorts of things, so we can't really change anything, but we can certainly lobby to help play a part, or I'm not sure how the visitation could get in, but I think some of the issues obviously were the gates. You know, you can plow the road, but then you still, I think you've got a little bit of a ways to your loved ones. But I just wanted to bring it up just so if we got anything coming up soon with the cemetery committees, maybe we can have a conversation and bring that to the table for them.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad you brought that up. I made a call to former Councillor Parsons, seeing how he's so close to it, and I'm the liaison to that committee, which has yet to meet. That being said, I did say that council would, you know, I don't know every operation, so I just explain it to me and how can we improve it. And I think the bigger question was on insurance and liabilities in certain areas where headstones had been, I guess, damaged, or but like in the last going off conversation with Councillor Parsons, I said there's always a way, there's always a remedy, there's always a solution, and for some way we can help, by all means bring us to the table. Because I never, not in my term here, would have thought of, because I'm able-bodied, I can walk, and I'm not in a wheelchair, you know, blessing of God. And for every other reason, sometimes we forget the simple things, but there was a post going around about it, so I did reach out. I haven't heard back yet, but I'm still hoping to, and if the event, it'd be great for full council to be involved, because it's something that impacts all of us.
Right, and we do their grant each year, so I mean, it's just
Yes.
a good reason now to reconnect and get chatting with them.
Yeah, and I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave or Jason, Public Works does plow partial part or up through, right?
If there's a funeral,
Mhm.
other filters or persons will call, that's on time people somebody who lives with me,
Yeah.
and we do whatever we can to have the cemetery open.
Yeah.
A lot of times we'll go in and we will plow all the roads. If we have time, it's not just plow that part of the cemetery.
Mhm. And I did learn that there's only 3 keys. The town has one, the committee has one, and correct me, do you know who's got, there's a third? No, there's a third, the caretaker. And anyway, we spoke briefly about, I don't know, can you attach to your tax bill that, is there a key code that, because it's again something that you wouldn't think anybody might want to visit a loved one that's passed at any time, right? So, again, the outdoor snow and things that you wouldn't think of, because the other great points, and in the discussion, the other ones are already accessible, like there's no road wait with inside. They're not locked out, right? So, but no, great points and very, very important to people in the community. Deputy Mayor Young?
I'd just like to applaud the Deer Lake Dolphins too. I think we missed those guys for their swim for hope. I know it's a favorite of yours, so it's probably on your mayor's to come. So I stole it from you, but that one. Also on Sundays, my little plug for Chase the Ace. So Chase the Ace is, you know, if you like a good game of chance, the jackpot is now over $10,000, and it is over 12. Thank you.
That 2,000 could get you to a Leafs game, folks, just saying.
And this is the big fundraiser for some much needed exterior repairs for our local Legion. So if anybody wants to get out and support, they'd love to see you there on Sunday.
2 o'clock starts.
Starts at 2, draw is at 4.
I'm new to Chase Days.
I'm going since the beginning.
Really? So I wasn't. So I was kind of like, do I have to go down? Do I have to go from 2 to 4? So like for newbies, you could actually go at like 3:40 and buy
get
your
your tickets.
tickets, go sit in your car, wait it out for a bit, and then come back in. But you don't have to like spend your day down there. You can pick them up and go do your stuff and come back. But you just got to be in the room to claim your Constellation or your 50-50 draft, right? At like 5 to 4, you're going to want to be in the room.
I think eventually it'll probably go live because I think based on the lottery rules, you actually have 15 minutes to show up.
Oh, okay.
Right now, it really, or up to this point, really hasn't been, I guess, an issue in terms of space and things. So they were looking at even using the radio system that they use for when they do the car bingo and things like that. Just hoping that, you know, it would get to a point where space would be an issue. So that might come down the road too, but yeah.
And
I
how
usually
much
go
are
at 2 and then I go for a walk and then I come back. So I get my steps in.
Oh,
It's all
yeah.
good. Yeah.
How much are the tickets? So if you're buying a 50-50, or if you're
Krista?
It's $5.
buying $5 for
Per ticket.
5 50-50?
Yeah, it was, I think it's 3 50, isn't it? 3 for 5, yeah.
3 for $5 for
Or
50-50?
two for 5 for Chase Days.
Okay. Cool.
On the way home for lunch today, I said, "Hey Google, set a reminder for Sundays." So I can get- That's the truth. That's the truth today. I keep missing it, and I'm like, I can't forget this time.
I could text you on my way.
Do it, please. Something.
And lastly, quickly, just the Deer Lake White Bay Family Care Team. So, you know, it's been shared around. They've been successful in recruiting 5 in total, practitioners to the area. So if anyone is a resident of any of the areas that are included, just make sure you get on the Finder Provider list, and hopefully they'll start getting and making a big dent into that list.
All right, thank you.
Just over here, like to the walking day or something like that, is it, you know?
No, I don't think so. I don't think everybody is kind of up to speed, and onboarding patients is a bit of a lengthy and time commitment for new practitioners just to learn patients. So it'll be a bit slow going. So a little bit of patience probably required of the community as they kind of get up and going. But once things roll out and they'll be able to better kind of delineate everyone's schedules, the hope is that it will definitely expand.
All right, thank you. Councillor Langham?
Yeah, just to reiterate on what the deputy mayor says, I see it from my day job quite frequently. Just make sure if you're looking for a family doctor, which many residents are, that you're registered with Patient Connect on the Gov&L website. You need to be registered. That's the list that the deputy mayor spoke about. And currently, right now, there's a walk-in clinic available on Thursdays. It is a walk-in clinic, but you do have to make an appointment first, call or show up there. But they're hoping to expand in the next couple of weeks to several days, and eventually the goal is to have it 5 to 7 days a week as well. But make sure you're registered on the Patient Connect if you're looking for a family doctor, which I know many of you guys are.
Councillor Fitzgerald? Councillor Jones? All right. Back to the Dolphins. Myself and Councillor Langdon attended, and the reason I'm chuckling is don't ever show up at any swimming pool indoors with winter boots and a winter coat on, or unless you want to try some loss of whichever, but I'd probably sweat out 15 pounds in 15 minutes. But I just want to thank the deputy mayor for that, and that's the best part, I think, to place this here for roundtable at the end, because it's easy to forget all the good stuff in the community. Before I call for adjournment, I'm going to go through the proclamations. Wear Red Canada Day, February 13th. We'll need a mover and a seconder. Whereas heart disease is the #1 killer of women worldwide and the leading cause of premature death for Canadian women, a fact unknown to many women and their healthcare providers. And whereas the Canadian Women's Health Heart Alliance is an organization of volunteer health professionals and patients working hard to improve our women's heart health. And as whereas Wear Red Canada Day is celebrated annually to raise awareness for all Canadians, but especially Canadian women, to be mindful, curious, and proactive in the management of their heart health and wellness. And whereas we want to see better prevention, diagnosis, and care, and fewer women dying prematurely from heart disease. Therefore, I, Mike Guzny, Mayor of the town of Deer Lake, do hereby proclaim February 13th, 2024, Red Canada in the town of Deer Lake. So, with that said, I'll call for mover.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Young, seconded by Councillor. Oh, sorry, Councillor Hancock. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor. Motion carried. And I have one other proclamation. That's to celebrate 40 years with Heritage NL. Whereas the third Monday in February is recognized nationally as Heritage Day, whereas Heritage Day and Heritage Week are a time to reflect on achievements of past generations and to accept responsibility for protecting our heritage, and whereas our citizens should be encouraged to celebrate Newfoundland and Labrador's uniqueness, to rejoice in our heritage, and whereas in 2024 the residents of Newfoundland and Labrador will celebrate our rich, diverse heritage. Therefore, I, Mike Guzny, on behalf of the town of Deer Lake, do hereby proclaim Monday, February 19th, 2024 as Heritage Day, and February 19th to 25th, Heritage Week, and call upon all citizens to celebrate the richness of our past and promise of our future. So call for a mover.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Young, second by Councillor Hancock. Call for question. Here.
For next week, I know it mentions in the correspondence, like they're challenging us to something, and we thinking about something photo-based or sending something out. It's just keeping us all in check. Yeah, no, I was just going to mention, if we're not going to have another rec meeting before then, it's just something to mention maybe to Hillary or whoever. Maybe we could at least sort of celebrate something, or have a look at that correspondence. Maybe there's something we can do even through correspondence if you want to send us something, generate ideas, whatever. But I think we can do something for sure.
All right, thank you. We have a mover, seconder, call for question. Hearing no further comments, concerns. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. At this time, I'll call for an adjournment, and in speaking with the town clerk, she has informed me that we do need two. You need a mover and a seconder. So going forward, we'll have to have both. So we need a mover. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by
Second.
Councillor Langdon. It is 8:30, and I'll call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.